Okay, hi everybody. Good evening. So only three of you are there. I expected actually a lot of students today, given that tomorrow is your board exams, right? So did you guys write the test? Ankit, Hema, and Akshaya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, you wrote the test. Okay. So since we have only three people, rather than maybe discussing all the questions, do you have any particular things to be discussed? You already wrote one question paper. I think last question paper from what is that? Epsilon Academy you would have written, right? So is there any specific questions you want me to solve? Question numbers, if you can tell me, I can just solve it for you. Any particular things like that? Go on. Just go through the question paper once. I'll give you maybe 2-3 minutes and ask me the questions. I'll help you. Guys, utilize this opportunity very nicely. Right? We have only less number of people. You can ask me a conceptual doubts. You can ask me some questions if you have any particular question you solved and you didn't get the answer, something like that. Please utilize this time very properly. Right? Tomorrow, given that it is an exam. Hema and Neha, did you write the test? Oh,
Yes,
it's not
sir.
Hemant. Okay. Hemant Sasikumar. Okay. Hemant, Neha, and Akshay. Okay. Akshay wrote the test. How about Neha and Hemant? Are you there, Neha? Are you there, Hemant? Okay. Okay, fine, people. Who is there, who is not there? Ankit and Akshaya, right? Please go through the question paper. Did you get the solutions for this particular paper? The last 10th test, right? Did you get the solutions for the paper? People, there is nothing wrong in opening a mouth and answering.
Yes, sir, we got it.
You got it. Okay, good. So this you have the solutions with you. You have the question paper with you. Please quickly go through the question paper and the solutions and tell me which you didn't understand. Quickly with solve. Go for it. Or if there are no doubts, no questions, everything you understood, then there is no point in having the class, right? Rather than that, you can go spend some time in studying. I hope you're going to the question papers. Please don't be idle, people. I'll give you one more minute.
Sir? Sir, I actually don't have any particular doubt from this question paper, sir, but P block, how can I actually prepare, sir? Like the
Okay.
questions.
P block, how do you prepare? Good. See, P block, I would really not suggest you to go through the reader. It's a very big chapter, as you all know. right? Please don't go through the book at all. Stop it. Did your school or Epsilon or someone, they would have given you so many assignments or some question bank kind of stuff they would have
Yes,
given
sir.
you.
So I should just go through the notes. That should be fine.
Notes also is not required. Take, I don't know, if say in the question banks, say 100 questions, 200 questions, how many other questions you have, just go through those questions, only the questions and the answers, and get the logic out of it, obviously. And then second point is that you have done so many tests, isn't it? Or take all the question papers, take all those things, take the questions from P block, and then solve it again, right? That is your revision. Rather than going through the entire textbook, if at all you have time, go through the notes. Yes, definitely. But I would say this is also not required. Notes is also not required. Just take the question bank, take the answers, take the test papers, answers, just go through them and know the logic. That's the easiest and simplest way to go for P block. Because why? Because the chapter is very vast, but the questions keeps on repeating. Only few questions you will see that coming in the test actually will keep on repeating. Very frequently they will repeat. Right, so those questions you can identify once you go through the assignment and the tests, whatever it is. Epsilon, I know, have given you a DPT, I guess, right? Daily practice test for
Yes,
P block,
sir. Yes,
right?
sir.
That is one. And I don't know whether they gave you an assignment as such for a P block. If not, at least your school would have definitely given you an assignment, one question back kind of stuff, right? So that assignment and the test series, more than enough.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
Akshay?
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Fine. Ankit, any other questions you have? Okay, Nanda has joined. Okay, Nanda, are you there? Nanda?
So,
Yeah. So, did you write the test number 10, the last test from Epsilon Academy?
so
Okay. So, just quickly go through the paper and tell me which questions you want me to solve. Quickly, I'll give you 2-3 minutes time. Quickly go through the paper and tell me which questions you didn't get or which questions are doubtful. We'll solve those questions for you. And regarding biomolecules chapter, read point by point, like say, know the terminologies very properly, structures very properly, what are anomers, what is the capital D, capital L, what is a phosphodiester linkage, what is a glycosidic linkage, where the glycosidic linkages are present, right? So biomolecules will be point to point, you should know. Like easily you'll be able to score marks. Full on full, you'll be able to score in biomolecules. Okay, because it's just points you have to remember. Okay. And other chapters I would say are easy, like except for, I don't know, like if I think from your level, the toughest chapter should be P block, right? But again, as I told you, you just have to go through the questions. And other than that, the next tougher chapter would be alcohol, ethers, phenols. Other than that, all the chapters are very easy. All are very easy. Right. So for alcohol, ethers, phenols, make sure that you know the mechanisms which are given in textbook. You must know where the carbocation is formed, because accordingly the reactivity will change. You know the stability order of carbocations are tertiary, greater than secondary, greater than primary. Now, if at all I give you, for example, if I ask you, out of these alcohols, which will undergo dehydration reaction most readily, right? So the one which is going to be a tertiary alcohol will form a tertiary carbocation. That would be the one which is going to be maximum reactive, because in the mechanism you will see that there is going to be carbocation formation, right? So be very careful with your mechanism. Very important in alcohol, ethers, phenols chapter. Make sure you know the mechanisms. Only then you'll be able to answer certain questions, right? And the tests say, how do you distinguish these two compounds? How will you distinguish, say, a primary and a secondary alcohol? How will you distinguish a phenol and a normal aliphatic alcohol, right? For phenol, we go for neutral FeCl3 test. And then if at all I have primary, secondary, and tertiary, we go for Lucas's test, right? So the tests, mechanisms, all these things are very important in alcohols chapter. And also the acidic strength, right? If I give you different alcohols, I feel different phenols, especially, right? What is the acidic strength order? How do you decide that, right? All these things you study. And then what else is there? Boiling points, definitely, right? right? You have to go for hydrogen. You see, for cases where you have hydrogen bonding, alcohols will have hydrogen bonding, so they will have higher boiling point. What are other criteria? Molecular mass, branching, more molecular mass, more boiling point, more branching, less boiling point, right? So these things are the frequently asked questions. Very, very frequently they'll ask you. Okay, right? And also one of the most important reactions in alcohols would be preparation of alcohols from Grignard reagents, right? So remember that if at all I have methanol, only methanol, right, that will always give me a primary alcohol with Grignard reagent. Any other aldehyde other than methanol, that is say CH3CHO or say CH2CH3CHO, something like that. Any other aldehyde other than methanol will give you a secondary alcohol, and ketone will give you tertiary alcohol. Okay, like this is an important reaction. And say Raymer-Tayman reaction is very important in phenols, right? So these are some important stuff which you have to remember. Yes, Nanda, any questions particularly? Question says 31 to 35. Okay, cool. Just give me a minute. I'll just see what are the questions. Okay, share my screen. 1 second. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Okay, it's not there, I guess. And another this thing is there. And 37 also. Okay, cool. Okay, 31 to 35. Okay, now this compound, okay, actually we'll do this. Now, actually, I think it's fine, no problem. Fine. So what is the correct order of acidic strength? As I told you, see, as I told you, phenols, they will ask you this question. Okay. Now, if you look at this, see, remember in general that electron withdrawing groups will have more acidic strength. I mean, if at all we have electron withdrawing groups in the ring along with phenol, that is going to give more acidic strength. Now, how do we decide it? It is going to be based on the conjugate base, right? We have something called as conjugate base. What is conjugate base? After removing H plus, whatever is remaining is what is called as conjugate base. Okay, so the acidic strength is directly proportional to the stability of the conjugate base. So in the sense, I have a conjugate base that is stable, okay, and I have a conjugate base that is unstable. So the corresponding acid, whichever is forming a stable conjugate base, will be more acidic, and the one which is going to form an unstable conjugate base will be less acidic. Okay, that is why we say acidic strength directly proportional to stability of conjugate base. First point. Second point, stability is the inversely related to charge. That means lesser and lesser charge you have, more and more will be the stability. Okay, so the first step, what will you do is remove all these hydrogens. Whatever the hydrogens given to you, you remove all these hydrogens and make O minus, O minus, O minus, and all of them. Okay, right. Now that if you do, right, those are the conjugate bases. Now you have to check for stability. How do you check for stability? Lesser charge, more stability. Right. Now you understand that NO2 is going to be an electron withdrawing group. Again, NO2. I mean, two NO2s are there. Okay. Actually, let me show you this question. Let me go to OneNote. Show you this. Right. So what I'm trying to say is that you have phenol. We are taking O minus. Right. Now you understand, if you go for the resonance structures of phenol, here you will have a negative charge. Here you will have a negative charge, and here you will have a negative charge. If you go for the resonance structure, this bond will break, everything will happen, whatever, you will find that the negative charge is formed at ortho and para position. So lesser and lesser this charge, more and more is the acidic strength. Right? So if at all we have NO2 here, or NO2 here, or NO2 here, which is an electron withdrawing group, right? So the charge will decrease, more acidic strength, right? Okay. Now, if at all, now understand that if at all we take a case where we have OH like this and NO2 like this and NO2 like this, that is ortho and para, right? Now, please understand that in this case, minus I effect will happen, inductive effect. Why inductive effect? Because nitrogen is more electronegative. It will try to pull the electron towards itself. That is one of the possibility. Second possibility is that it can even show minus R effect. So what I'm trying to say is that NO2 is going to be electron withdrawing group with respect to inductive effect as well as resonance effect. Okay, so the negative charge on this oxygen will have double decrease, right? But if it is going to be in para position, obviously the nitrogen is very far away from this negative charge oxygen. If I have a negative charge, it is very far away. So minus I effect is not possible. No, inductive effect is distance dependent, right? But the minus R effect, definitely. Now, why minus R effect? I'm telling because again, you see that the negative charge is found at ortho and para positions only. If at all I have nitro in meta, let me tell you the case later. Okay, so for now only minus R is happening, right? So anyways, there is going to be a decrease, but only single time decrease because only minus R is happening, minus I is not happening. Okay, now say we have meta. Right now, you understand that the ortho and para positions are only having negative charge. Here, there is no negative charge at all in this position. Right. So this resonance, obviously, it is electron withdrawing group by resonance, but that resonance is not going to decrease its negative charge on the oxygen. Okay. But how it can decrease? It is say fairly close enough, right? Compared to para, it is little close enough to this alcohol, this oxygen. So definitely it can show minus I effect. But minus R, no. In this case, it's not possible. Okay, only minus I. So now we can decide, right? So in case of ortho nitrophenol, we have both minus I and minus R are happening. So high, very less charge. So this is the first rank goes to this. Now, in this case, only minus R is happening. Minus I is not happening. In this case, minus I is happening. Minus R is not happening. Remember that resonance has more priority. Resonance has more power. You can call it like this way. Resonance has more power. So obviously this will be able to decrease the negative charge in a longer way, but this will be a very short decrease. So second rank goes to this and third rank goes to this. This is fine. Right. Now, whenever we go for now electron donating groups, now look at this. I have OH and if I have OCH3 like this, now please understand that this is going to donate electron in the form of resonance, plus R effect, plus R and minus I. Again, because oxygen is more electronegative, it will show minus I effect. It will pull electron through inductive effect, but donate electron to plus R effect, right? Again, and if at all it is going to be at OCH3 like this can show only plus R, right? And if at all we are going to have meta like this, OCH3 here, right? Now this is going to show minus I. And again, my plus R is not going to affect this because again, negative charge is not found here, right? So only minus I, right? So there is going to be decrease here, increase here, and increase here overall because again, resonance is more dominating than inductive. Okay, so if I keep this in mind, right, I can say for sure that this nitrophenol, ortho nitrophenol is definitely going to be more acidic than para nitrophenol. Because here both minus R and minus I, here only minus R. Then comes OH with NO2 in the meta, right? Then comes OH with OCH3 in meta. Now again, you understand that this minus I effect will show, right? And then comes OH only, because now in the case, if at all I'm going to have ortho or para, that is going to increase the negative charge. Then comes phenol. So then it should be the competition between this and this, right? In this and this, I would say you don't have to go worry about it. So if at all you have OH and OCH3 like this, right? So that would, I would say minus I effect is somewhat okay, somewhat little decrease is happening. So this would come next, and the least would be this plus R effect. Broadly only plus R effect. Okay, so this would be the order of the acidic strength. Right? I hope you get the, I hope you got what I'm trying to say. Right? It's all about decrease in negative charge, more stability, more acidic strength. That's it. Okay, right? Fine. Going to the next question. Okay, 32. So 31 is over. 32. The process of converting of alkyl halide to alcohol. What is happening? Rx into ROH is what? Nothing. OH, I mean, X minus will be replaced by OH minus, right? That is nothing but a substitution reaction. Option A is the answer. Okay, next. This reaction is very simple. This is formation of ether. Whenever you go for formation of ether, there is only one name reaction, that is Williamson synthesis. Right? C2H5ONA with C2H5CH3 will give you C2H5OC2H5. Again, nucleophilic substitution, Williamson synthesis. Very simple. Right? Next, we have 3-pentanol. 3-pentanol. How the structure will look? Very easy. 3-pentanol. In the third carbon atom, we need to have a OH. Right? Now you understand that this carbon atom having OH attached to 2 other carbon atoms. So secondary. So it is definitely going to be a secondary alcohol. As simple as that. Okay. So secondary alcohol, B would be the answer. Next. Mark the increasing order of reactivity. Reactivity with HBr or HCl. I told you mechanism will be very important. Now in all the cases, what we have to understand is a carbocation is formed. Okay. Let me show you the mechanism. Look at this. We are going for what? Reaction with HBr or HI, right? Look at this. The mechanism goes like this. ROH, right? Now we have HCl. Say from that first H plus comes. Now that H plus will be taken up by the OH's lone pair to form ROH2 plus, right? Then very easy removal of this water molecule to form R plus. Now this is where the carbocation formation, right? Plus H2O, right? And to this we have the X minus, say Br minus or Cl minus, doesn't matter. That is going to attack here to form Rx. This is the overall mechanism. So we understand that here carbocation formation is there. So the reactivity is directly proportional to stability of carbocation. How easily I'll be able to form the carbocation? That easily will be, that much ease with which the reaction can happen. Stability of the carbocation. This is what you have to understand. Right? Now look at this. Like the things given to you are nothing but say CH2OH is there and some other group is there, some Z is there. Okay, now remove this OH, put a positive charge. Now again, what is the criteria for stability? Stability and charge are inversely related. Less charge, more stable, right? So if this Z is an electron with the drawing group, the positive charge will increase, so less stable, right? Whereas if CH2 plus is there, and if this Z is an electron donating group, EDG, right, that is actually going to decrease the negative charge, so it is more stable. Right, now keep this in mind. Electron donating group decreases the positive charge, more stable. Electron with the drawing group, withdraw electron, already positive, more electrons are withdrawn, so positive charge is going to increase. Right, so if that's the case, it is going to become less stable. Now go to the options. Now see what is there. Right, now we have just CH2OH. This has NO2. NO2 is going to be an electron with the drawing group. Right, so this is going to be the least stable. That CH2 plus is going to get formed is going to be least stable. So definitely B is going to be the least reactive one. Where is B least reactive? Okay, this and this. And the most reactive is definitely going to be C. This Cl actually is electron with the drawing group, electron donating group by resonance. Okay, so I would say A should be the most reactive. So the answer should be C. Okay, A should be the most reactive because both NO2 and Cl are electron with the drawing groups. Okay, but NO2 is a more stronger electron with the drawing group. That's all you have to understand. So this C should be the answer to this question. Okay, right. Next question 37. Right now, which of the following can act as the strongest base? Now, very simple this question. Okay, now look at this. What you have to understand is, right, we have an acid, right, and if I remove H plus from this acid, we go for something called as conjugate base. Okay, so what we have to understand is the acidic strength, right, and the strength of the conjugate base are inversely related. That means a strong acid will have a weak conjugate base. Opposite, same way a weak acid will have a strong conjugate base. Right? Strong acid, weak conjugate base, weak acid, strong conjugate base, opposite. Right? So now all you have to do is just add H plus to this. Right? Yeah, just add H plus to all of them. Right? Now, okay, this would have been OH. I would have just added a H here. Right? So this is phenol. Right? Now phenol is very acidic. Right? Phenol is very acidic than all these things. right? So definitely this is going to be, this would have been the weakest base, right? Then RO minus is there, add H plus to this, ROH would have been the acid, right? Now again, compared to phenol, this is going to be less acidic, so this can be a base, stronger base than in this case. Okay, then comes what? Then comes OH minus, add H plus to this, it is going to become H2O. H2O is the acid. Now OH minus is a very strong base, right? You can just blindly say, okay, now OH minus is a very strong base because H2O is neutral, very weak acid. Okay, now C6H5 minus, C6H5 minus, you add H plus to that, right? It is going to become C6H6. Okay, now C6H6, I think you don't even have to go for it. Whenever they ask you about the strongest base, it is going to be OH minus. Blindly say it. The strongest base in any of the species is going to be OH minus. But how do you do it? Add H plus, check for the acidic strength. Opposite will be the order of basic strength because conjugate bases. Strong acid, weak conjugate base, weak acid, strong conjugate base. As simple as that. Okay. So I think these are the questions you asked for. Any other questions? Anybody has? People? Anybody else has any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay, I have two more people, Ashik, Siddesh. Any questions you have?
No, sir.
Okay, Ashik, any particular questions you want to ask me from the test? Okay, fine, people. You have my number with you. Do you guys have my number?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys have my number. So if at all you are studying and you are finding it difficult to understand this or say this question, how it came, something, I'm always free today. Okay. For you, I'll be free today. Okay. So make sure you WhatsApp me. I'll be able to help you on WhatsApp also. Okay, people. Thank you so much and all the best. You are going to do great. Trust me on that. Everybody here or whomever is part of, or all the students for that matter, are going to do great. Just be calm, read the questions carefully, have some patience, and with a very peaceful mind of mind, go to the exam. And let me tell you a secret, people. One secret. Okay. When you go to the exam, there are two ways of thinking, right? Everybody knows Tamil, I guess. Right? கடவுளே இந்த கொஸ்டின்லாம் வரக்கூடாது. One way of looking into it. Second way, கடவுளே நான் படிச்ச கொஸ்டின் தான் வரணும், இந்த கொஸ்டின் தான் வரணும். Second way of looking into it. Go for always the second way. Think what you want. Right? There's always power to positive thinking. Exam போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி always think that, okay, these questions are studied, this questions only will come. This concept is from there only questions will come. You should never think, ஐயோ அந்த கான்செப்ட் நான் படிக்கல. That should not come. That will அப்படியே it will come. I have done it 1,000 times. 1,000 times I did it wrong. Then I realized, okay, this way you think it is going to happen, it will happen. Okay, have only positive attitude. Just go with a very fresh mind, peaceful mind, only positive attitude. Think that, okay, these questions will come, these questions will come. And trust me, those questions will come. Okay, this is the secret to any exam for that matter. Okay, I tell all the best from the bottom of my heart, and I know that you guys will do great. Okay, if possible, we'll see next term. Right? I don't know how many of you will be there in my class, but irrespective of that, I want everybody to do good, and I know you guys will be doing great. Okay, thank you so much, people. And I said I'll be available online. I'll be available in WhatsApp. Please utilize if you want me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please do well. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.